Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jay. I've been doing the carnivore diet for the past 7 months, lost 70 pounds so far. I went shopping at Aldi's a couple days ago. While I was there, I bought a rib roast, and I've been thinking about how to cook it. Do I want to roast it or cut it into steaks? Well, I decided on the latter. I'm going to cut my rib roast into steaks. I'm going to freeze most of them and cook one of them today for my lunch. Sometimes you'll see rib roasts for sale, and they'll be a lot cheaper than buying rib steaks or, buying steaks by the pound. So it's a good idea to know what to do when you actually see one, how to cut it up. I'm not an expert carver or a butcher, but I have done this before, and it's not so hard. I'm going to demonstrate it, and you'll be able to do it yourself if you ever come across one on sale. So with all that said, let's get started. I got a really good deal on this. It was $8.99 a pound. I got 6.36 pounds, which should be good for 5 steaks. Has a nice edge of fat, which I like. When I go to Costco, the ribeye steaks there are usually $13.99 a pound, so this is a pretty good savings. So the first thing you need to do is remove the rib roast from the packaging and put it out on a cutting board. The first thing you need is a really sharp carving knife. Now this roast has ribs in it, hence the name rib roast. And we're going to have to kind of cut around them. What I like to do is cut from the top. I'm sure this isn't the professional way to do it, but it's the way that works for me. And just cut about, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And the trick is to cut it evenly all the way down so your steak isn't thicker at the bottom or the top. Nice even thickness all the way through. With a sharp knife, you can do this without too much effort. And just cut this off from the bone, which is there. Actually, you know what? I think the whole bone has already been cut to some extent. Yeah, so this is going to make it much easier. If it hadn't been cut already, you could just carve it like this, but I'm not going to need to do that. So there's steak number 1. I'm going to put the steak on a plate for now. All right, time for steak number 2. I'm going to cut this one a little bit thicker, closer to an inch. I like a good thick steak that's crispy on the outside, nice and browned, and red or pink in the middle. See, it's kind of intimidating to think about, but when you actually do it, as long as you're patient, it's not that hard. I cut it right through to where it's already been cut on the bottom. Oh, this one's a little bit attached still, so I'll just cut it like that. See, I'm not a professional. If I can do it, you guys can do it. And now we have a nice steak with lots and lots of fat. That's going to be really good. All right, steak number 3. This is a good thing to do if you want to be able to freeze some of these and eat them over a period of time. If you were to do a roast on your own, you need to eat it quickly. You wouldn't want to let it sit around for a week. But this way I can have steaks for a month. Steak number 3. I think I'm going to get 6 out of this guy. All right, finish it up here. This one I wasn't quite as even with as the others. That's good enough. If you have a different way of carving this, or if you know something that I don't, feel free to put something in the comments. This is about learning as much as it is about being perfect right from the beginning. So I'd love to see any comments, any suggestions, any tips. Anything that will help me and the other viewers to know how to do this properly. I'm very good at doing what works. I'm very practical, but some people might have some real skill to contribute here and experience. This one really is an inch thick. Save this one for the barbecue. Number 5. And number 6. This is on the end, but I'll cook it today while it's fresh. All right, and then this thing, there's still a lot of meat on it. What I would do here is just carve it between the ribs. And you can cut this little piece off. This was between ribs. And this side too. Those would be good to throw in the frying pan as well. All right. If you have a dog, I'm sure they'd love these bones. Or you could save them or make beef broth. That'd be a really good broth. Rule number 1, never cut toward your fingers. Always have the knife pointed away or to the side. All right, so we've got those 4 little pieces. Then I'm gonna pack my steaks one to a bag. These are beautiful steaks. I've got 6 of them. I'm gonna cook 2 today, one for myself and one for a friend who's coming over for lunch. I'm gonna freeze 4 of them. This one I'm gonna have myself today. Let's get a thinner one for my friend. This lunch, so we don't have to have the biggest ones of all. And I'll save a couple of these pieces from between the bones too for today. And the rest I'm going to put 1 per bag into Ziploc bags and store them in the freezer. I'll put these in a bag too. Maybe one with a thinner steak. We'll see. And these just look delicious. 1. So there we go. 2 steaks for now and 4 steaks for the next couple of weeks. So my frying pan's all heated up. I'm going to throw my steaks on. And I don't add anything except salt. Good amount of salt. So that's the only flavoring. Once I get to my target weight, I may add some pepper, maybe some garlic. But for now, I'm doing hardcore carnivore, which is just meat, salt, eggs, water, and I do make an exception for myself to have some coffee. And that's really the only exception. I'll have some kefir sometimes or some raw milk, but I'm trying to limit that as much as I can because even though technically it's carnivore, it has a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of lactose, milk sugar. So best to avoid when you're in the weight loss part of carnivore. Now, if you're doing carnivore for other health reasons, say autoimmune issues or joint aches, arthritis, depression, you'll probably want to stay on strict carnivore for longer. Me, I'm doing it mostly for weight loss. I do find that my joints feel a lot better and I have less brain fog. So if I ever do modify it, I'm not going to modify it by much. Maybe add some pepper. I miss pepper, I miss garlic, but I will certainly never be eating rice again. Even most vegetables, I don't need them. I'm happy with the diet that I'm eating now, and I feel great. So no need to go back to the way I was eating before with all the problems that brought me. I sometimes like to add just a little touch of water. Like almost imperceptible. You really don't want to add too much because it'll give the steak a bad taste, but a little bit helps to cook it faster. I prefer it grilled, but if you gotta do it in a frying pan, makes it a bit easier. Put another little splash of water. What do you think? Do you have a strong opinion about whether or not to add a splash of water? I would never add any more than I did. Never more than a splash. Like I said, it gives the beef a bad taste, but I find just adding a little bit helps to cook it faster. I will transfer this over to my cutting board. Now, yes, I did wash the cutting board already, so that's going to be okay. I also washed the knife. Here's the thinner part. Oh yeah, that's actually more done than I like. Cut this through to make sure it's cooked in the middle. Now that's perfect. That's exactly the way I like it. Since I'm sharing lunch with a friend who doesn't want to be on camera, I will do my taste test now. Nicely browned on the outside. Still rare, but warm in the middle. So that's it. Got my well done one there for my friend. The rare one for me, and that piece too. This will be a perfect meal. So now you know how to cut up a rib roast and make steak out of it. Let me know what you think. If you have any comments, suggestions, if there's anything else you'd like to see me cook, please put a comment in the comment section. And subscribe for more carnivore information, recipes, shopping trips, grocery hauls. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your day. See you in the next video. Take care.